What the hell? What's going on YouTube? It's Bonnie Hunter D. And guess what I'm doing right now? Can you guess? Yes, going on another hunt. Glad you can join me. So today, it's gonna be one of these days where there's gonna be a lot of intel. The leads that I'm getting for this guy that I'm going after today, I checked some out on my software that I use, and I'm kind of running into roadblocks. So I decided to go scout out this place, right? So that's where I'm going to right now. This is the boring part of bounty hunting work, but it's exciting though. See, it's an adrenaline rush. I get in a rush when I do this. So I don't know, is this better or should I do this? Is that better for you guys with the light? You can see me in the light, see? No, should I put it back? Okay. So listen, make sure you get yourself some bounty hunter merch. You know I have to plug that, it really helps the channel. So I'm gonna turn it off right here, and I'm going to go on my long ass journey. See, I'm going on my journey. See, my journey. It's my journey. Long ass drive. See, I like to show you guys all of that stuff. See, and you want to be a bounty hunter?
Hello,
Huh?
I couldn't.
Make
Hello
sure you're
everyone,
ready for
welcome to another Fowl
long
Original with me, Fowl Original
13-hour
here,
days.
Fowl Originals News Round, where I talk about the news. Hope you like the new lit set. Yes, it's lit, as the kids would say. I'm a kid, I think. And as you heard there from Bounty Hunter D, who is the kind of person that I expect to exist. Got some issues with my wireless mouse and stuff tonight. Might be because I've got so many things plugged into my computer. But yes, welcome to tonight's show, December the 12th, 2018. And yeah, in the new studio, brought to from support from you guys actually. And if you'd like to help support this channel, you guys and girls out there, if you'd like to help support the channel, you can do that quite easily by going to, oh well, if I can click properly tonight, that would be fun. This is going to be a fun evening. You can go to, I can't even type anymore. I have to change these batteries. I've been working so hard. Got to change it before the next show. You can go to fowloriginal.com. If you go to fowloriginal.com, you will see my big old bird face. When you see my big old bird face, you can go over here and click support the channel. When you click support the channel, it'll take you through to two options. There's a donate button, or you can become a Patreon. Click the donate button, take you through to PayPal donation page. You go ahead and say, give me, I can't even type it, $5. And say it with me, everyone. Make some monthly donation to help support my content on the rigs. Fowl Originals News Round, Fowl Original Wrestling, all the other bits and bobs of stuff that I do on the internet. And if you want to make it a one-off, let me know who you are. But you can hear I am player one. I have to get kind of closer to that. There's thanks player one, even though you're not spelled correctly, you the real MVP. Now, got two big stories tonight for you before we get into the normal segments. But the first big story tonight, which I really wanted to talk about, was this story. Now, the reason why we had the intro of Bounty Hunter D there was because of this. So Hawaii, who make, a bit loud there, Hawaii, I should turn off the, I have to sit still. Hawaii, who make a lot of phones and technology from China. Very, very good products at reasonable prices. Amazingly good products, actually. And I would have gone for Hawaii phone last time, but instead I went for, can't even go there because I'll mess it up. The lighting is too good now. I went for a Xiaomi Mi Mix 2, which is also another Chinese brand. A lot of people had concerns originally about Hawaii and potentially the fact that they were sending data back to China. And I guess our fears were true. And I didn't really fear it because I was like, well, I'm going to give away my data to someone, which links us into some more of the stories that we've got tonight. The theme of tonight, I think, is going to be protect your data. It's your data, protect it. So this is the story, and that's the lady that we've got up there, who is Meng Wanzhou. Now, Justin Trudeau, the Canadian Prime Minister, said his government had no involvement in the arrest of a top executive from Chinese telecoms giant Huawei. Now, Meng was detained at Vancouver Airport on Saturday on an extradition request from the US. China has demanded her release, calling the arrest a human rights violation. The charges have not been made public. Hua Yi said it was not aware of any wrongdoing by Ms. Meng. She faces a bail hearing on Friday. Earlier reports suggested the arrest could be related to a US investigation into a possible violation of sanctions against Iran. US National Security Advisor John Bolton declined to comment on this when questioned by journalists. Instead, he said that, generally speaking, he had enormous concerns over Chinese firms' business practices and their possible operations as arms of the government. And now, what do we know about the arrest? She was arrested while changing flights on Saturday. It's the same day that US President Donald Trump and Chinese President Xi Jinping met in Argentina for the G20 summit, where they agreed a 90 truce in their trade war. What do we know? Her arrest was not revealed by the Canadian authorities till Wednesday, the day when she had her first court appearance. Speaking to reporters in Montreal, Mr. Trudeau said his government was told about the arrest a few days beforehand, but it did not play a role. I can assure everyone we are a country with an independent judiciary. He added that the US had enormous concern for years about the practice of Chinese firms. That's US National Security Advisor John Bolton, and that it was all of this American intellectual property that was stolen by the Chinese is now being used to force technology transfers to be used as arms of the Chinese government to get information technology in particular. Mainly what they're saying is the US, Australia, and New Zealand have recently blocked the use of Huawei's equipment in infrastructure for new, faster 5G mobile networks, citing security concerns. And the US lawmakers have repeatedly accused the company of being a threat to the US, arguing that its technology could be used as spying by the Chinese government. Now, this is a pretty big deal, and what have China had to say about this? The detention giving any reason violates a person's human rights. This is a ministry spokesman. Person even. We have made solemn representations to Canada and the US demanding that both parties immediately clarify the reasons for the detention and immediately retain the detainee to protect the person's legal rights. In a statement, Hawaii said it complied with all applicable laws and regulations where it operates, including applicable export control and sanction laws and regulations of the UN, US, and EU. The reason why this is a big story, and it's going to lead us to some other stories tonight, is there's also a big story, and we're going to talk about in Metro moments, about Facebook, and that's another big company where there are privacy concerns, massive privacy concerns over the data that is being collected from these devices. I mean, on my Xiaomi Mi Mix here, when I use that phone, there's this thing called Mi Cloud, and you can back up all your text messages and like photos and stuff to this cloud. Now, I don't, not because I think that the Chinese are going to steal my data or anything, but it's just like, why would I do that? Why would I send all this stuff off? They already have enough of me just using the device. It's Android, and a lot of these things that have existed within these systems have been made to make it very hard to find these vulnerabilities and this sending back of data to China. I know that, of course, my phone is going to be calling home to China every single day because it's going to be like, is there a new firmware update? I'm fine with that. Like, but we have had some stories out in Metro moments, actually, funnily enough, about all this connected technology that we all live within right now and what that means to you and to everybody out there that's watching this show live on Twitter, Periscope, YouTube's, Twitch. Everybody who's watching this show right now is using a device which is connecting and saying and leaving a digital footprint of what you are doing right now. So it's not time to be scared of all this information that exists about you, but it's all definitely time to be wary, not just go for the cheapest product. Go for the best product, but remember that if you have privacy concerns, you are walking around with a piece of digital information that's going around and heuristically recording everything that you do. But yeah, this is going to be a big story for a big few days, and I wonder how much of it is. Wonder how much of it was known by Trump, because obviously Trump wouldn't know the ins and outs of many of these things, but it seems very, 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 very conspicuous by the fact that this happened when the Chinese Prime Minister and Trump was signing treaties and stuff. It's very, very strange. Now, our next story for today is obviously the top story, but I wanted to get that in first because I didn't think we're going to have enough coverage about that story in every other bit of news. So it's the big one, and I got a whole list of stuff to talk about, but it's O2 Wi-Fi down in the UK. What does this mean? Who was affected? Why did it happen? What was the outcome so far? When will this end? Compensation? Answers to all these questions right now. Um, this is an absolutely amazing story today. So, from my point of view, today I woke up in the morning, I got my phone out, I got the bus, everything was fine. I listened to music from Amazon Music on the way to work. There was no issue for me. Chin Man, on the other hand, got to work and said, Fowl, I don't really seem to understand. My gift cap isn't working. And I was like, that's strange, because mine is. Let me just quickly go on Twitter. Oh my God. And that was it. O2 down was trending. The O2 outage. Um, and for those of you that are not in the UK, this has affected other countries as well, built on the same infrastructure. But in the UK, O2 dominates the market, absolutely dominates the market. And it also leases its services out to other companies and other telecoms. So you have O2, the parent company, Telefonica, and then beneath that you have Tesco Mobile, you have giffgaff, you have loads of other virtual SIM operators, and they all offer very, very competitive packages, and that's why they exist, and that's fine. And they work really well for students, they work really well for people trying to manage their budget because they have these goodie bags and stuff. Now, I myself am on a contract because I'm an old-fashioned idiot. But I also, because when stuff like this happens, I then go, well, yeah, I was paying a stupid amount of money for a long time. But this, I think, is now kind of, anyway, we're going ahead of the story. So let's go first of all to the BBC website. Luckily, I made my notes because my keyboard is not working at all. So um, this is your story, and we've got actually since I oh, here we go. Since I've actually got that link, it's changed. So let's. Hello there, Hannah. How you doing? Now, welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Let's take you to the first bit of this story, and here we go. O2 and Ericsson, and this is from BBC News. O2 and Ericsson issued joint apology over data disruption. They've broken my timeline now. O2 and its mobile network equipment supplier Ericsson have issued a joint apology to its millions of customers hit by disruption to its data services. O2 said it expected its 3G data service to be fully restored on Thursday evening. That was 56 minutes ago. So if you're on O2 and you're in the chat right now, let me know if you can watch this on O2 or if you're on your normal Wi-Fi. The network data problems began at about 5:30 a.m. Thursday morning, and this is the big thing. Obviously, a lot of the infrastructure for the UK is built on O2, which is very, very ironic when it comes down to it. So services such as bus timetable information has also been affected, while many businesses face disruption. O2 has 25 million customers and also provides services for the Sky, Tesco, giffgaff, and Leica mobile networks, which have another 7 million users. So in total, you're looking at 32 million people affected by this. Ericsson UK boss Marielle Lindgren said the faulty software that had caused the issues was being decommissioned. In a joint statement, O2 boss Mark Evans said, I want to let our customers know how sorry I am for the impact our network data issue has had on them and reassure them that our teams together with Ericsson are doing everything we can. We fully appreciate it's been a poor experience and we are really sorry. Ericsson said there have been network disruption for customers in multiple countries. Now, knock-on effects. Earlier, Ericsson president Bjore Ekholm gave more detail about the cause of the disruption, and he said an initial root cause analysis has indicated that the main issue was, and this is hilarious, I work in IT, so this is hilarious. The main issue was an expired certificate in the software versions installed with these customers. He said a complete and comprehensive root cause analysis was in progress. Most of the affected customers' network services have been successfully restored, he added. Japan's Yi Mobile network, owned by SoftBank, was also affected by the outages. The difficulties in the UK were first reported at about 5:30 a.m. Thursday. Spain's Telefonica owns O2, which has the UK's second largest mobile network after EE, which is now part of BT. The company has said voice calls are not affected, but some O2 customers say they cannot make calls or send texts. This is earlier on. The outage having knock-on effects for services that use the O2 network, including the Transport for London's electronic timetable service at bus stops. Looks like something's gone wrong. It just stopped working. And 64% of customers on contracts are business clients, including Sainsbury's and NHS England, because O2 have a massive business network, and that's really going to hurt them. A tech consultant said it was unusual, informed on-call director, to take this long to resolve the problem, and that half of UK mobile users prioritize internet connectivity over text and calls. And then adds the convenience of consumers and associated frustration. Having a major network out of action creates productivity challenges for businesses. Now, obviously, as I said, who was affected? Everyone. Up to 32 million people were affected in this particular issue. Now, it's a whole day. That's a long day. So why did it happen? Hilarity. As I said, I work in IT. So basically what happened was no one realized that they hadn't updated the certificate, license certificate, on a piece of software. That piece of software is being decommissioned. Yeah, you probably just forgot the date it was running out. Like, hilariously, their IT is going to be under massive scrutiny for a they're never going to pass audit. And I know that. That's what I mean. This is a very funny story for me because I go to see like an actual emergency within ITIL, an actual incident, major incident, because I work on an ICT services, major incident. This is a major freaking incident affecting millions of people, and their handling of it has been terrible. But anyway, the outcome so far, we've got some case studies here. As I said, this is the top story of the night. We've got some case studies. We've got 102 customer Alison Rose Manor said that she's disabled in a wheelchair. She has no data, but also no calls. She can't contact anyone. She had a fall or anything. Lindsay Graves said she works in Doncaster providing home visits to the elderly and vulnerable, and her 130 staff all rely on O2 to access rotas, schedules, names, addresses. And she's been calling an extra office staff since 5:30 in the morning to give out information for each other, for each visit over the phone. And there was plumbers. This whole day wasted. I'll be seeking to recoup my losses, especially as a business customer. And a plumber says he's been unable to contact any of his engineers and customers via email, unable to use our mobile system to contact any engineers. So everyone's just had to down tools. And a lot of money lost. And the first thing I know about it is via the BBC website. No contact from O2 at all. Disappointing. And you got Emirat, who said he's been a loyal customer. He said he had bids on eBay on Thursday morning, but he could not do them because the O2 network was down. It's Christmas. The budget's tight for me. There were presents I was supposed to be buying for my daughter and my son on eBay today. They've gone now. He said he had lost the bills and the bids, and O2 are responsible. Can I claim compensation? Now, this was something that I read on the bus, as I said, on the way back. And so customers would be able, and this is from Ms. Duni, who writes a blog called The Complaining Cow, and so users could be able to claim under the Consumer Rights Act 2015, which states that services should be carried out with reasonable skill and care. That means customers would be able to claim a refund for what they would pay on a contract for the time they were without the use of the phone. They could also claim consequential loss due to breach of contract, for example, if they incurred bank charges because they were unable to move their money, or the cost of having to use a payphone. This must be a genuine loss which can be proved with evidence. So a taxi driver might be able to prove they lost out on fares owing to the shutdown, but other workers trying to claim a lost day of employment would struggle. Ms. Juni suggested phone users calculated their losses and wrote to O2 with the evidence. They should state what they wanted as redress and mention the Consumer Rights Act 2015. If they felt the response was unsatisfactory, it could be referred to the Ombudsman Services, communications of which O2 is a member. The customer would need to ask for a deadlock letter or wait 8 weeks from the beginning of the complaint. So if you feel that you've been affected by the O2 outage, not that you weren't able to take selfies, yeah, like if that was the thing, then they're not going to get, unless you're internet celebrity like me, then it's affected. But if you were in a job which relies on internet, and there's a lot of case studies out there, then you are able to get your money and figure out how long you left. Obviously, if you're on a contract, that does affect it. I don't know how this affects people. I guess they're just going to give out like a bunch of free data and stuff to people and be like, free data for everyone. But Other than that, I don't really know how they're going to come back from this. I hope that everyone's data is back, and I hope that you're able to get it flowthere.com, and I hope that you're able to use the internet tomorrow's, because I was fine. I remember just thinking, oh, I'm with another network, so that's totally fine. Other networks are available. If you want to help support the channel and ways that you never even understand, you can do that two ways. Number one, obviously, you can subscribe, thumbs up the video if you're watching on the YouTubes, give me those hearts if you're watching on Periscopes, follow if you're watching on Twitch, or of course, go to fowloriginal.com. If you go to fowloriginal.com, you will see my big old bird face. See my big old bird face? You can go ahead and click support the channel. Click support the channel, you'll come through to two options. There's a donate button, you can click on Patreon. Click the donate button, it will take you through to a PayPal donation page where you will get to, or you get there, you can go ahead and say, give me $5, and say it with me, everyone. Make this a monthly donation to help support my content on the rigs. That's Fowl Originals Newsround, Fowl Original Wrestling, and all the other bits and bobs I know on the internet. And if you want to make it a one-off, let me know. It'd be all like, I am the one-off. Oof. There's something wrong with my keyboard, I apologise. Thanks, one oof. One oof. Now, before we go to Metro Moments, as I said, I've got new things today. So before we go to our next segment, yeah, Metro Moments, yeah, I want to say thank you all very much to all the people that have joined every single time. I'm going to try some cool now stuff with like moving around. But next we have Metro Moments. If I can do it. Welcome everyone to Metro Moments here on Fowl Originals Newsround. Now, Metro Moments, what's that all about? I read the Metro for you if you don't get the bus. Now, the top story, and I was going to talk about this if I hadn't found out that when I came to work that O2 was doing everything. I read this on the way to, but yeah, how Facebook spied on you and all your pals. I told you. I told you. Now, Facebook have been monitoring a lot of people via their apps and APIs, and apparently the major concern was that they were able to see your data through people who. So even if you didn't allow people to see your content through your friends, if your friends did and you were theirs, and you were like, you just ignored all of their notifications, it didn't matter. They'd already got all of your data. How crazy! The Cambridge Analytica thing has been massive, but Facebook has come under fire because the tech giant knew that they were able to do this. So Facebook came under fire for spying on people's calls, texts, and use of apps, as 250 pages of secret emails were released by a Commons committee. The tech giant knew keeping records of activity on Android phones would be controversial, so made it as difficult as possible for users to find out, the MPs said last. I'm so happy I didn't do the Facebook stuff. The email cache seized under rarely used powers also reveals founder Mark Zuckerberg discussed selling users' data. So all that time, I didn't want to do it. Zuckerberg, we done. And there is evidence about how companies were allowed to obtain details of the friends of users who signed up for their apps. Facebook vowed in 2015 to stop offering access to friends without their consent. But the emails back up previous claims that bosses kept on giving some companies access. Airbnb and, quick add the little, and it's just scary. Like I took Facebook off my phone. At one point I was doing Facebook Pages Manager and I was like, screw that. And it continued on page 6. There we go. Now this acts such as Airbnb and Netflix are among apps said to have been whitelisted. The privilege could be afforded to reward advertisers or maintain the value of apps. Facebook wanted to buy, MPs say. So they were looking at maintaining the validity of those companies like Instagram and maybe some of those other companies, and allowing them to access all the data and then just buying them up and then just having an infrastructure already there. Damian Collins, chairman of the Commons Digital Culture, Media and Sports Select Committee, said, "I believe there is considerable public interest in releasing these documents. They raise important questions about how Facebook treats users' data." The emails were originally disclosed to 643, which built an app allowing users to trawl through friends' photos for pictures of women in bikinis. The company sued after the 2015 policy change rendered the app useless, and Facebook had to hand over the documents as part of court proceedings. When the MPs heard an executive of 643 was in London, an official of Parliament was sent to his hotel to demand that they be handed over. In one email, fears are raised that harvesting phone use data is risky from a PR perspective. And Mr. Zuckerberg suggests in a 2012 email that companies wanting access to data could buy adverts or pay a fee. Facebook said it stood by the 2015 policy change, adding, "Like any business, we had internal conversations about ways we could build a sustainable business model for our platform, but the facts are clear. We've never sold people's data." And as I said, going back to the story buried within all of that, there was an app called 643 which allowed you to find pictures of your friends in women in bikinis, so just pictures of anyone that you knew in bikinis quickly, because instead of having to go through them manually and find them on Facebook. So anyone who had 643 installed as an app on their Facebook, it's their fault. Yeah, it's apps like that that existed specifically to look for salacious photos, and then Facebook were wondering why there was so much child pornography on there. Oh, Zuckerberg, allegedly. And we also have some other stories in here today in Metro Moments, where who's that popped into the chat? Heather.com. Got some other moments. Former President George W. Bush Sr. Being buried. His state funeral, Donald Trump turning up, and his son, George Jr. We also had some clarification of the legal letter and look into the backstop, where looks like maybe Brexit is going to go a little bit longer than we all expected. We all knew it would. This story, which is, again, as I said, linking in with the theme of the evening, your data is yours and it's sacred. Pharmacist who killed wife to be with gay lover gets life. Now, that is a Metro moment right there. But the story is very, very harrowing. And what I want to bring to your attention is the story within the story. So, the individual who murdered his wife to be with his gay lover, he was very controlling and abusive of her. Now, originally, he cheated on his wife with men he met on the Grindr dating app, and once told his secret lover, Dr. Amir Patel, who he described as his soulmate, that he married Jessica because she was in love with him and it would be a good cover for his true sexuality. Fine. Now, what I highlighted here are Patel then staged a robbery, ransacked it, and he made a series of fundamental errors, including a botched attempt to hide his home's CCTV hard drive and leaving the duct tape he used to bind her body at their pharmacy. His original alibi that he had gone for a walk the night he killed her was disproved when Cleveland police used data from a health app on his iPhone to show his movements around the murder scene. So if you had a Fitbit on or something, then and you said, yeah, so I wasn't there. Like, police have now used that data to convict someone of murder. Everything that we are recording with our phones and everything, all this heuristic data that we're picking up to help our lives, to make sure that our phone knows when we need to get off the bus here, we need to do this, we need to buy that. That is all great, and I really do. But remember that everything you do is recorded in a way that you potentially wouldn't even think about. And when people are like act like sing when no one's watching or anything, it doesn't exist anymore. Had some other stories, and I seem to be running short on time because I talked a lot about the stories in the beginning. But as I said, you can help support the channel by going to fowloriginal.com, and I really do appreciate everyone that joins the shows and everyone that watches these later on, retweets it out. I'll be doing a wrestling show on Sunday, maybe even having a guest. I'm going to see if I can figure out how to do that and see if I've got the time. Got a lot going through the metro, and I was doing a lot. We've got a lot of stories in the metro, but again, they seem to be quite depressing. Got World Bites. Is a good story. Oh, they're not really. Again, Russian President Vladimir Putin has warned the US that if it walks out of a key arms treaty and starts developing banned missiles, then Moscow will do the same. The US has accused Russia of violating the treaty already. So, banking executive and former highway commissioner Frank Scott, 35, is the first black mayor elected to Arkansas state capital. He is Little Rock's third black mayor, but the first to be chosen by a public vote. It's got some absolutely like harrowing stories in here. Trying to Metro Moment is supposed to be about the fun stuff. We've got Santa's presents for the ROF arriving via Her Majesty's mail. You've got Kate Middleton and the Duke and the Duchess coming down, and then again, yeah, like I've highlighted some pretty. This is a nice story, actually. National Express wants to track down long-distance families to reunite them for Christmas. The country's largest coach operator is offering free travel for a family alongside £500 to make it a celebration to remember. We aim to make it easier for families separated by hundreds of miles this Christmas by helping bring them together. And then if you think your family fits this, and if you do, then go to nationalexpress.com/en/offers/partners/Christmas-family-competition. We also have stories about Christmas number ones that never were number one, talking about all night for Christmas. And I did think that that is probably everything for Metro Moments tonight. So, well, I keep doing this. Thank you for joining Metro Moments this evening. Let's take you back to my normal. Let's take you back to my normal thing, which is this. I'm going to figure out how to do this more elegantly. But yeah, so O2 Wi-Fi. Our top stories today were O2 Wi-Fi down in the UK. What does this mean? Who was affected? Why did it happen? What was the outcome so far? When will this end? And compensation. When does this mean internet was gone for most of the UK? Who was affected? Most of the UK. Why did it happen? Software license issue that wasn't updated happened in Japan as well. What was the outcome so far? People are unhappy and salty. When will this end? Hopefully it's already ended. Compensation, write to O2 and tell them how much money you lost today. And then maybe you get your monies back. I don't know. I won't get my money back. And that is also, sorry, our top story again was also Hawaii arrests after snooping on customers. As I've said in this show many times, remember that your personal data is your personal data. Your personal stuff is your personal stuff. And just remember who you're giving it to, because Facebook have shown that they are. And most companies are very happy to take a way for you to have a free service, to take that from you in some, well, to take some remuneration back from you in some way. Not everything is free. But if you want to help support the channel, you can subscribe. You can hit the thumbs up. You can also, of course, go to a little known website. I may have mentioned it a few times. I don't know if I mentioned it enough, really. And that website is fowloriginal.com. If you go to fowloriginal.com, you will see my big old bird face. If you see my big old bird face, go ahead and click support the channel. If you click support the channel, it'll take you through to two options. There's a donate button, or you can have a Patreon. If you click the donate button, it will take you through to a PayPal donation page. You can go ahead and say, give me $5 and say with me, everyone, make this a monthly donation to help support my content on the regs. That's Fowl Originals News Round, Fowl Original Wrestling, all the other bits and bobs of stuff that I do on the internet. And if you want to make it a one-off, let me know who you are. I am Bounty Hunter D. Thank you for allowing me. I didn't ask, but thank you for allowing me to feature you during today's intro to the show here on Fowl Original. Now, as I've already said, I'd like to try and end the show every single time like an idiot, getting myself copyright struck for some stupid reason. So today, obviously, I will very, very, very quickly. I wonder if I can get anything. Because most of these I'm going to get. Oh, actually, maybe. Actually, you know what? Yes. Yes. So, because of what has been going on with the internet for the rest of the UK, obviously, I'm going to provide this, which is from blogtechtips.com. And you're having problems with your internet, are you? You're having problems with your internet? Oh, to Huawei. Sorry, Huawei. 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 I've been told this before. It's like Huawei, but I was like Huawei. Now, this is how I'm going to close out the show today. This is perfect. So, this is how you do this thing.
Hey guys, Sukar and welcome to another Block Tech Tips.
So you got no internet, eh? Ooh, you got no internet. Ooh, well you could do this thing. Listen to this guy. Anyway, thank you for joining me this week for Fowl Originals News Round. It's alright, Darkon. Thanks for joining, mate. Thank you for joining Fowl Originals News Round tonight. We have loads of stuff planned for the next few weeks. Christmas wise, I meant to get all of my Christmas card stuff ready, but unfortunately I haven't. We'll get that ready next week. It's gonna be tight schedule, just like it was last time. But I've bought loads of technology, and I've got this VR headset which I'm trying to work on, and hopefully you're gonna get some VR stuff from me soon. I've bought lights, I bought VR. It's almost like I think I'm trying to make a business out of this or an actual career. But if you want to help support the channel, you can go to falloriginal.com. You can join me on Sunday for the weekly wrestling recap, and also then again on Monday for News Round. If you want to help send any stories in as well, feel free to do so. I'll try to be a bit more tighter next time and get all my content, get all my stuff a little bit tighter. But there was just so much to talk about with the O2 thing today. So on that note, this has been Fowl Original. Thanks for watching. See you next time, and have yourself a great weekend. Bye.